Hariom everyone, welcome to this class on Purusha Sukta. So we are looking at this text where we have done the main meaning and all earlier. Now we are looking a bit deeper into the simpler aspects of the text. Right. So we have already done up till now, we have done 25 classes. This will be the 26th. So we'll start with the chanting first. I'll chant at my end and you can start at your end. सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सिद्धसाधनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः Chant the fifth and sixth parts. तस्मादश्वा अजायन्त ये केचो भयादतः गावोह जग्मिरे तस्मात् जाता अजावयः यत्पुरुषं ददितुः प्रतिधाव्य कल्पयन् किमस्य कौबाहु काहूरुपादावुच्येते ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् बाहुराजन्यकृतः ऊरु तदस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भागं शूद्रो अजायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षुः सूर्यो अजायत मुखादिन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च प्राणाद्वायुरजायत नाभ्या आसीत् अन्तरिक्षं शीर्ष्णोऽध्यो समवर्तत पद्भ्यां भूमिदिशश्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागम अकल्पयन् वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसस्तु पारे सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वाभिवदन् यदास्ते धाता पुरस्ताद्यम् उदाजहार शक्र प्रविद्वान् प्रदिशश्चतस्रः तमेव विद्वान् अमृत इह भवति नान्यः पन्था अयनाय विद्यते यज्ञेन यज्ञम् अयजन्त देवाः तानि धर्माणि प्रथमान्यासन् तेह नाकं महिमानः सचन्ते यत्र पूर्वे साध्या सन्ति देवाः. So in these sections we have sadhya, the sadhya deva coming twice. There is one at the end, almost towards the end of the seventh, yatra purve sadhya santi deva. Right, and earlier also we had the sadhya deva also coming. So the sadhya rishayaschaye just after the third one, the third section. Tena deva ayajantah sadhya rishayaschaye. So we'll just have a look at this sadhya part. In the intervening part also we will look at later on. So as we have seen, the middle part we are skipping for now. So what we have to do is follow the sequence of we were looking at last at how we increase that ananda within us, ananda rupata we call it, that vision of joy within us. We saw this in Kathopanishad also yesterday. So why we are not able to awaken within us this Shiva Agni within us? The main reason is that we are what we say akrit punya. Akrit punya. We don't have the requisite punyam to hold that ananda within us, to hold that ananda within us. And unless we take the support of the Lord to get that punyam, we can never do it on our own. Right? Or whenever we strive to do it on our own, then it is with ego. And ego is related to the mind and body. And mind and body are always limited. So therefore, that effort will always be lacking. It will never be sufficient because we are awakening the highest. So for the highest, attaining it with something with limitations is not possible. Of course, Atma Jnanam is attained in the mind, which is something with limitation. But in that mind also, the adhanam, the reflection is put of that infinite knowledge itself. Right? I have to see myself as that Ananta Swarupa, then only that knowledge will be able to awaken within me. Right? So that punyam we have to do it. So like whenever we are going to climb a mountain, we need some kind of support. If it's a very steep one, then people take those pickaxes and they have the ropes and all, they take them to support. Or if you are walking in the ice, then they have those rods where you have to poke it into the ice and hold on to it. Otherwise, you slip. Ice is very, very, very slippery. So because of that, you need that support. There was once a group, you can say Tirth Yatra from a group that they were going through it. And in that Tirth Yatra, they one day decided that we have to go to Kedar. So because they decided to go to Kedarnath, then they knew that the roads at that time, it was rainy season. So because of that, the rain was disrupting the route. The route was full of disruption. So they couldn't go properly. So they were going and it was taking a long time. Then one guide came up to them. This guide said, look, this route this time is very difficult to go. You probably have to wait here a few days. But I know a longer path by which we can go. But we'll have to travel through the mountain area, which is full of snow. And I will guide you all and you can get there. So they decided, okay, since we have come here so far, let's attempt it. So they went on that yatra. So now they were all walking along and he gave them this ice pick, this long stick rod with the sharp ended. And so everyone was given that and they were walking with that. While himself, he was an expert. He was used to the terrain. So he was going without the stick. Right. So one of the brahmacharis who were with the group, he decided that I don't need that stick. If this guy can walk, then why can't I walk? Let me try it. So he didn't take that stick. And they had gone ahead now. And after some time, he slipped and fell. So then everyone asked him, okay, you take my stick. He said, no. He had that pride or arrogance within him that I will do it on my own. But after some time, he again fell down. So it happened 7 or 8 times. So at the end, what happened was that he gave up. He said, you guys go ahead, I'm not going. So just because he had this ego, he couldn't get to that mountain, right? Same way, if we also have the ego, that samarthya, that ability of Lord will not be available to us. He will not be there to guide us. So that punyam is needed, right? But punyam alone isn't enough. So in Mundak Upanishad also it is said that if you are trying to cross over to Paramatma, then only with punyam, if you try to do it, it is like crossing with a boat that has holes in it. Ched wali now. So it is like that. So both punyam and the lack of ego or the surrender of ego are needed. So both are needed. So this Devi Ma Bhagavati Samvit we say will take us across, but we need punya as well as surrender. So, and what about this knowledge that we get finally? How do we absorb this knowledge? This knowledge is not something that is easy for most of us to absorb. What is the reason? The reason is that it's like, you see some lightning in the sky and it has lots of power. If you could store it, it could run. Yes, Anita, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. About punyam, is punyam also accrued because of lack of ego or other reasons also?
No, lack of ego will bring you closer to the Lord. Punyam will accumulate through good deeds. You're doing a homa, you're doing good things for people, you're doing good things for nature, that way. Punyam is what? You do some action. Because of that, you will get a good fruit, right? Good action, good fruit. So punyam will be always through good action, but through lack of ego, you will get kripa. So sometimes through that kripa, Lord can give you much more than you can get for punya. That is the difference, right? So you can get punya phalam with Lord's kripa also. So that is how it is, right? Okay.
One more question, sir, in this.
Hmm.
Let us say we look at some poor people, they don't have much ego in them. They don't
Yeah.
do much punya karyam also. They are
Mhm.
just by themselves, but still they experience the grace of God because of
Mhm.
reduced ego, or they can surrender easily. So in that case, without punyam also this happens for them.
You cannot say that it has happened without punyam at all. There are so many janmas behind. You can never say where that punyam come. Sometimes punyam will also take you towards poverty, because you have enjoyed your life through, you have been given good resources. Then you give up those resources, and then even with less of money, you will have less of distraction. Sometimes Lord asks you to give up. I once told a story about this. Shiva Bhakta who had a big store, and ultimately Shiva destroyed his stores so that finally he could move towards him. He gave him good. So Lord also, he gives us whatever we need. But as I said, no, Bhagavati Ma knows that what is the ultimate good for you? Ultimate good for you is moksha, right? So till you don't have the desire for moksha, she will not give you, right? So just with the lack of ego also you can get, but there has to be some punya karma where your mind turned towards that, right? Your mind turned towards that. So that way it is possible. Yes, of course. So with less punyam also you can do. The more deeper your surrender, the more easier it will be for you to have. But for a poor person, maybe sometimes he will have some other desire also for his family and all. So all that has to be taken into account. So in this way, both have to be in a mix. It depends when you got that punya, right? So both are needed, right? So so now we'll come back to the example. So like I was telling you about this lightning in the sky, right? There is a lightning in the sky, and it has a lot of power. It can illuminate instantly everything around you, and if you could capture it, it can maybe power a village or power a city for like years. That is the power that lightning holds. So it has huge amount of power, but you cannot use that electricity or that lightning to light up a house or use it in your regular meaning. You need a milder form of electricity. Huh? You need a milder form of electricity that is harnessed through other means, like you have hydroelectric power or coal power or nuclear power. So you can get that in usable quantities. You can get that in a usable quantity. Similarly, when you listen to the Nirvikalpa, Nirguna Paramatma, then he shines like lightning. He shines like lightning that in your mind, that sudden illumination is there. So when that illumination is there, you cannot hold on to him. It's not easy to hold on to that. For an instant, it will light you up, but then later on, holding on to that light, his light is intense. And after knowing Atma, it thunders through the mind and pervades the whole world. Hmm. But on the other hand, it is the Paramatma with form. That Sagun Brahman, you can say, or the Sagun Paramatma, or whatever we are Ishta Devta, that is the one that can be meditated upon. Our mind can connect to, our mind can capture, or our mind can follow, right? So therefore, Paramatma with form can be meditated upon till that infinite is made or conceptualized as one with form. It cannot be brought to the mind. Just like that electricity cannot be brought to the house in the form of usable electricity through the wires. So when I offer my mind, body, etc. to him, only will he take the mind and body to the ultimate Brahman. So it's not that the flash of lightning will happen. Slowly, through my surrender, through my giving up of my ego, through giving up my body identification, through multiple tests in our life, we will attain that oneness. We will attain to that jnana. It will take time. So when I offer my body and mind to him, then only he will take it to that ultimate Brahman, to my own Swarupaha. So I make him my Adhishthanam. I make him my Adhishthanam. I develop the understanding that he is my Adhishthanam, and I find oneness with him. And so that is when I find him in this fire burning in my heart. When we surrender to Bhagavati Ma, so her gaze falls upon us, and that gaze burns the world. It totally destroys the world, right? The world ceases to appear before us. There was a story about, Ramakrishna Paramahansa also like this. So he had this cancer in the throat, and it used to give him a lot of pain. So when he was having this pain, then he would always take it as blessing from Ma. Whatever is happening has to come. I don't mind about that pain. But one day, all his bhaktas, they collected and they said, why are you suffering? You have done so many siddhi. You have done so much sadhana. You have so many siddhis. You can easily ask the Devi Ma to remove this for you. So he said, no, I don't want it. This is her blessing. This, whatever is there, it has come. Maybe she wants me to join her early, as early as possible. That is why she has given it to me. So now they said, no. We are not asking you to do it for yourself. We are asking you to do it for ourselves, for us. Because as long as you will be there, we will have your Ashirvad. Your presence alone cures so many diseases or problems of our houses. So you ask for us. Now he was very simple person, Bhole Bhav. So he said, okay, agreed, then whatever you say, I will do. And then he went, and then he sat down in meditation and asked Bhagavati Ma, please have a look at this throat also. Is pe bhi thodi kripa drishti daliye. As he said. So Bhagavati Ma was instantly, she was not angry, but disappointed. So she said, what happened? Your Deha Abhiman has still not gone away. Your body identification is still there. So he was embarrassed. He said, no, Ma, my devotees, they asked me to do it. So she said, which throat are you talking about? Which throat is yours? And which throat is one that is not without pain, which is not mine? All throats are mine only. And if you want them to be yours, then this pain you have to bear. Otherwise, if you don't want, I'm ready to release it from you. And he just folded his hand and he said nothing. No, Ma, whatever you say best for me. And when he came out, he scolded. He scolded the devotees. You made me small in front of Devi. You made me lose my respect, whatever had happened. It's not in a negative sense, but that was his bhava, no? That if I am in front of Devi Ma, I have to be with full surrender to her. Right? So therefore, whenever her gaze is falling upon us, it is asking us to turn away from objects, all the lokas. So lok basically means sense objects, right? How we grasp the different objects through the 7 sense openings in the face. So 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth. So these are the 7 upper and 7 lokas only. All the 7 entrances that we have, they are also the 7 upper and the 7 lower lokas. So when we grasp the sense objects, basically what we are doing, we are grasping the sense objects through the sense organs. Wahi se grant kar rahe. So when we grasp these sense organs with the 7 openings, and we grasp them with the sense of ownership. Mujhe chahiye, mujhe enjoy karna hai. I want to own this object, or I want to have ownership of this object. Then what is happening is, then I am taking the path of selfishness. And that means what? My entrances are taking me to the lower lokas. The same 7 entrances are taking me to the lower lokas. The same 7 entrances, when I turn them to the enjoyment of the Vishayas or the sense objects as the blessing of the Lord and as a way to reach the Lord. Now, every object is a way to reach the Lord. Anything that I experienced, we saw earlier also, that within it, it has the essence also. The essence of Satchitanand. So when we focus on that essence, every object becomes an offering to the Lord, and it also becomes a pathway to the Lord, both ways. So therefore, all these 7 lokas are the ways to reach the Lord. Huh? So whatever kind of experience we take from these seven sagas, accordingly will be our motion, our movement to which loka we should go. Right. So if you listen to some loud or abusive music, then that kind of vritti will happen in your mind. That kind of thought will happen in your mind, and it will take you lower. Low. But if you are chanting a bhakti stotra, you are doing your puja, and in that you are so then your for positivity that you generate, it will take you to the higher lokas. Huh? So Bhagavati Shruti Ma, this Veda also, it tries to teach us. For Bhagavati Ma, her anger is of two kinds. Huh? One is, we say, with pity, and other is with exasperation. परेशान झल्ला के करना और पिटी दया से दया और झल्लाहट. So like example, like बच्चे के पेट ठीक नहीं है. Son has a upset tummy. So still he is asking for a chocolate. So she will say no. She says no. So now this kid is habituated and he is insisting, nahi, mujhe to chahiye. He is insisting. Then she says with exasperation, झल्ला के, okay, ठीक है, तुमने तो सुनना नहीं है, you won't listen, so okay, have it. So she will give it to her. So she is angry, but allowing him because he is sick, right? So her anger is giving. But the child thinks what? The child thinks mother loves me a lot, and so she's giving me, right? That is the other. Then the second case is what? Second case is when he's healthy. The child is healthy. उसने स्कूल जाना है, he has to go to school, right? So he says, I want to go. So then mother says, she calls the servant, पकड़ो उसको उठा के उसको बस में डाल के आओ, catch hold of him, drag him and put him in the bus. He has to go to school. If he doesn't, because he's 5 feet 10 fine, he should go, right? So she will not listen to him. So here also, Ma is angry, the mother is angry, but her anger is in the form of love. Her anger is in the form of love, right? While the child is thinking the opposite. He is thinking, my mom hates me. She's sending me to school. I don't want to go, right? So in this way, same way, we are also approaching Devi Ma in the same way. When we ask for worldly objects, no, and we won't understand her, then she gives them to us out of this exasperation, out of this jhallat, we say, out of this feeling of desperation. कि सुनते तो है नहीं, क्या करूं. So but we think that she is compassionate. उल्टा हो रहा था. We think she is compassionate. We are thanking her for giving these things, right? We think she is compassionate for giving them to us, while actually in reality she is angry, right? So but what about the other case when the child is healthy and she gives him what he needs? So when we are healthy, when we have vairagyam, when we have interest towards the Lord or towards the knowledge, then that vairagya, no, it consumes us like a fire within us. So in that case, even if the pain is there for following that path, it's not easy to follow the path of jnanam, right? In Kathopanishad we saw Churasya dhara nishita gurutyaya. The walking this path of spirituality is like walking on a razor's edge, right? It's not easy to walk this path, but Ma will insist that you walk on that path, because the ultimate benefit is yours only, right? You will get a fruit much better and much higher than the worldly benefits, right? So it is there. So she is sometimes ready to give you something that you least expect. So there, if you have read the Gita, the first chapter, most people will say what Arjuna's reaction was, it is negative. But when you understand the story behind it, you will find that actually he was correct. But because he had a calling to do, that is why he had to be guided in the other direction. So what happened in that story? It's still narrated, it's given in the Mahabharata. So in this Mahabharata war, before the war, Krishna Bhagwan took Arjun to the temple of Bhagavati Ma. So Devi Ma ke yahan chalte, let's go to Devi Ma's temple. A big war is coming up. Let's do her upasana, aradhana. We'll pray to her and we'll go to the temple, and then we'll ask her to give us victory, right? So they went there. So Arjuna prayed, and he said they sat up all night doing all kinds of meditation, and then till the morning they waited, and then in the morning Arjuna prayed, Hey Devi Ma, may I have your complete blessings and may I have complete victory. हाँ, आपका पूर्ण आशीर्वाद मिले और मुझे पूर्ण विजय प्राप्त हो. पूर्ण. So पूर्ण is the key word here. He asked for peace. No, Bhagwan is laughing inside. He saw what he's asked. क्या मांग लिया तुमने? What have you asked? Why do you have to say Purna? You don't know what Bhagavati Ma is going to give to you. Why did you say complete? He could have asked for just victory. Devi Ma mujhe jita do. But complete blessings is something else. Oh. So then they left that temple. Then Lord realized, okay, now he has done a blunder and I will have to correct him later on. I will have to give him the full Gita Upadesh now. No way out. So when they left there, so Arjuna, he didn't know what he had done. He realized, so Arjuna, he was a very simple person. Simple in the sense that he was not wily, and he didn't know the deep meanings also of what he had asked. Because his main concern was that I am a warrior and I can defeat anyone. There is no one I fear. मुझमें डर नहीं है. So I can defeat anyone as long as the battlefield is fair, as long as there is a fair battle. But Bhagavati Mano, she hears what you ask and gives you what you need the most. So she gave him Purna, the highest and complete Vairagya. She gave him the highest and complete Vairagya. So when Arjuna entered the field, he dropped his weapons, telling about the futility of it all, because Vairagya has entered in. He has asked Devi Ma for Purna, highest victory. What is the highest victory? The highest victory is attaining the self, right? So Arjuna has entered the field. Ma has taken him to the path of highest bliss or moksha, or you can say Purnatvam, right? So that Vairagya Agni is burning in his mind and body. If you read the Gita in the first chapter, once that description of the war is ended, no, up to the description about Jujutsu. Let me see if I think I'll just open. I was just checking if I have it here. So सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपतुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं संसृते हस्तात् तत्रैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः. So he has surrendered. My throat is going dry. My mind is not able to function. My body is shivering like anything. My hair are standing on end. The Gandiv, the bow that I am holding on to is Gandivam Sansrate. It is falling from my hands. Sansrate Hastat. My whole body is burning like a fever has caught me. Na shaknomi avastatum. I have no capability left now to fight this war. I have no desire also to fight this war. That is how his situation was, right? So what is that? That is that Vairagya Agni burning within him. That is what we have to strive for ultimately. But till then we have to do our duty. So Krishna Bhagwan needed him to do his duty. Bhai, tum kahan chhod ke ja rahe ho mujhe? Why are you leaving me and going? We have a big war coming up and I need you. And I need your support, for dharma sansthapanarthaya. I need you for establishing dharma, right? So in order that Arjuna be there in that war for him to then, so he gave him the reasoning, he gave him Atma Jnanam also, but he also took him to his Kartavya. But for Arjuna, that Vairagya was the ultimate sadhana for him, that ultimate sadhana. So that sadhana is reached through the sadhya devas. Sadhya santi deva. Right? So what are these sadhya devas? Sadhyas, and this sadhya rishayascha we saw earlier or later we saw. So if we look at the devtas, then we divided them into different groups, right? So we divide them into different groups. So these are called gana. Gana. Devtaon ke gan hote hain. They are groups of devtas, different groups of devtas. So like if you have the 33 Koti Devta we heard about, 33, most people say 33 crores, but it is 33 types. So of them, there are one Gana or one group is Aditya, Dwadash Aditya. So one group is like of 12 Adityas, right? So they are the powers of light, right? the ones that give you power, energy, everything. Then you have the Ekadash Rudra, the 11 powers of activity, motion, even destruction, right? All of them. Then Ashtavasu, the eight devatas of nourishment, right? Eight devatas that have the riches, the wealth of the world they hold, right? And then Indra and Prajapati. So these are the groups, huh? But one is group, Gana, other is the Sadhya. So Sadhya are different. So the Devta Gana that are there, they give you certain things that you desire in life. Whatever you ask for, they are there to provide for you. Right. So all the Devtas will give you different things in your life. Right. So so these different Devtas, they will give you all the different objects in your life. But the Sadhyas are one. There are Sadhya Devta. They are the ones that will not give you worldly objects. They will take you directly to Paramatma. Right. They will take you to your highest goal. So they are the Sadhya Devas. So actually, the Sadhya Devtas are not separate from these Devas also. Every Devta has the Sadhya aspect as well as the wealth aspect also. Giving of blessings aspect. Like you can say Indra Bhagwan. So Indra Bhagwan, what is his beneficial aspect? He will give you rains, crops, all that. But what about his other aspect? He is the Lord of Viveka. Indra is the name Indra means in the actual Vedic text, it means Viveka. So he is the Lord of Vivek. He will give you the power to discriminate between what is real and unreal. That is Vivek. We saw in Tattvabodh also, right? So therefore, that is his Sadhya form, right? That is the Sadhya form of. So these Devtas, they are all can be accumulated they can all be used to ask for different kinds of ends. The ends can be material. In the case of material ends, it is their material aspect, and it can be used for spiritual ends also, or uniting with Paramatma. In that sense, we call them as Sadhya, the Sadhya Devas, right? So whatever way we invoke them, that aspect they take, and they approach us, and so all these aspects in the material aspect, they are limited. Always remember, in the material aspect, the Devta is limited. Agar wo dhan ke Devta, if it is the god of wealth, it is Kuber, then he can only give wealth. He cannot do the other things, right? So in this way, they are limited. But in that aspect of taking you to Paramatma, they almost have infinite powers. They have that oneness with Paramatma itself. So, so all of these devtas, they have both aspects. The sadhya aspect is one where they also become one with that highest Paramatma, right? So they are in that sense non-different. That is why we'll see in all different Puranas, if Shiv Purana, then Shiva is the highest, and if it is Vishnu Purana, Vishnu is the highest, because that is that Devta's higher aspect, the Sadhya aspect, right? So that is the difference between Sadhya aspect. So, different Devtas, like we say, no, Mangal Devta. So Mangal Devta is in descendant. So you have to worship Mangal Devta. Some problems are coming, or then you have to worship Shani Devta. So whatever problems are related to which Devta, whatever power they have, that they will use to bless us. But the highest power is the oneness with Ishvara. So what does this oneness with Ishvara mean? It means oneness with everything in creation. So the one who does this becomes one with all beings. So their vision is non-difference with anyone, this person of knowledge, right? Now the question comes, we were looking at this earlier also, and Swarupa, you asked about this in the questions also. So what about when this vision is non-difference with everyone? Then we know that identification with one body, it gives us so much pain, right? So then how will we bear the pain of so many bodies? That is the one thing that comes to our mind, first of all, right? So people say, like, people can say internally or through a teacher, you realize, I am Brahman. But when the responsibility for that comes, they want to run away. So you are Brahman, and from him comes Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. So you are responsible everything for everything. Anything wrong is happening, it is your responsibility. So you must take credit, take your responsibility and take the action to do something. So, but whenever some problem comes in our lives, also we run away or we shirk responsibility. So we don't have that highest connection yet, right? So how do we balance that? How do we balance that? We cannot do everything. We cannot do everything. We cannot alleviate everyone's possibilities. So we have to understand the difference between capability and the the pain that is caused when our capability is not there to do something, right? So therefore, uh, when I am taking the highest aspect, then anything wrong is happening, that it is my responsibility. So I have to correct it. But when I'm faced with problems, what happens? Like at home, when all is going well, we take credit. मैं ही कर रहा हूँ. But if something wrong happens, we shift the blame to the other people, to the wife, to the son, to the brother, etc. Right? Or whatever, whoever is there in the family. So, but if all the pains are mine, then how will I bear and elevate them? So this has been analyzed thoroughly by Sureshwaracharya Bhagwan in his Vartika on the Brihadaranya Upanishad. So there he has analyzed that. I have taken parts on that in the earlier classes also. So what does he say? That there are basically two kinds of people. There are two kinds of people. They are with capability and without capability, right? So, like if you take an example, if someone is a businessman, if he does business with 5 lakhs, and he doesn't have the capacity for more, he borrows money. So he wants to do 1 crore of business. So he will take 95 lakhs from the bank and then he will do the business. But what will happen to this person? He will always be under pressure. Because he has gone beyond his samarthya. He has gone beyond his capacity, his ability. He has gone beyond that. So therefore, he will always be under pressure. But if there is someone who has 5 lakhs but does business with 4 lakhs, 1 lakh he keeps spare. So that person will never be under pressure. He may earn less. But whatever he is doing it is as per his capacity, and so he will have less pain in life, right? Less pain in life. So that is the difference when we try to go beyond. The same thing happens with knowledge also, with Vidya also. You specialize in 1000 mantras and speak on them only. You have perfected them. So then you are appreciated because your knowledge is thorough about them, right? But if there is someone else, he specialized in 50 or 500, but he has read partially about thousands, hundreds of thousands also, and he wants to speak on all of them, and he will be the jack of all trades, master of none. He will never be able to lecture properly on all of them. So therefore, or you not even lecture, whenever his knowledge is tested, he will be found lacking. So someone will ask, he will be found lacking. So everyone has their field of speciality. Everyone has their area of speciality, right? So that's on that depends what you can do, right? So like if Einstein was asked about biology, he would simply deny. You ask Aldous Huxley, he's the better person if you want to know about it the right way. So if Einstein tries to answer about biology, he will make a hash of it, right? So, or if there is a king, he is ruling a kingdom. So he should rule as much as he can control. There were kings in India also who conquered lots of areas, but they ended up losing all of them in that because they could not control them. So even Mughal kings, Aurangzeb, he controlled such a huge territory, ended up bleeding from all ends, and then the British took over. So you must take control of whatever is there within your power. You must only function in that. So each of us has been given a unique capacity. When we try to do something beyond that capacity, then it becomes a cause for pain and sorrow. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, there is no pain and sorrow. So the reason for going beyond our capacity is a sense of false ego and pride. So if my specialty is chemistry, and I'm trying to answer something about engineering, then I will obviously not do well. But why am I doing it? The reason is my ego. My ego that I don't want to appear stupid, or I want to appear sarvagya. I want to appear expert, right? So therefore, someone told me, so sometime people get impressed and someone said, you know everything. They said, no, never say that because there are so many fields I have not even touched or read about. No one can know everything, right? Even in sadhana, someone asks me about some question. If I don't know about that, I will guide that person to that person, right? So overall, one may have a concept, but there will always be flaws. No one is perfect. And any case, when you go deep into sadhana, you realize all the knowledge is coming from the Lord. The little bit that you think you know, even that you don't know. The moment you sever your connection from Him, you will know instantly. Sab gaya, everything gone. Right? So once you know clearly that everything is coming. So none of we don't know of it actually, most of us, but the actual truth is that we should never have that ego of sarvagyata, that I know everything. No one can know everything, or no one can be even expert in one field also in all aspects. There will always be evolving newer aspects of which it will take time for a person to grasp. So like we always go beyond our capacity. Some we have 50 lakhs, but we have our daughter's wedding coming up, and we will spend 1 crore by even taking something on loan. Why? Just because we have that ego. So that everyone from our family and our relatives should think that I am a rich person, right? Hoga kya? What will happen? I will bear the brunt of that for so many years on that. So therefore, if the body and the mind have certain limitations, then going beyond that limitations is bound to cause pain, right? A minister is going to a flood affected area. Support is needed only of about a few lakhs. So that can be done by the people on the ground. But he is spending crores going there in a helicopter and his full entourage so that he can, be present there. What is he looking for? He is looking for media attention. He is looking for looking to be noticed by the people that I am doing something. Otherwise, it doesn't make economical sense also. No, so we do these things for ego. We do for image. We do these things for visibility, right? So if you want to work for people a way, you have to look at a way to solve it in a better way. There is a flood in Brazil or there's some other country, then the expense there is not that much, or even if it is that much, we can't contribute everything. So if what is my capacity to contribute? I will contribute say 10,000 or 20,000. But can I spend lakhs on the tickets and go there and do it? No. So contribute online or whatever way you can. Only you have to ensure that it reaches in the right person's hands, the ones who are actually doing the job. So we should not lose sleep over what we cannot do. सामर्थ्य में रहना चाहिए. So whenever we want to donate for a cause or work for it, we cannot be upset with those who are not contributing for it, or shame them into contributing for it. That is absolutely no. A lot of people, they do good work and then they ask others to contribute, but they then embarrass them. Tum kyo nahi de rahe? That kind of thing. That is not good. So we can best make a case for it and convince people that the good is done for nature and it will come back to you if they understand. Otherwise, you can't force anyone, right? So, there was a person who got very, very angry during a satsang. And then at the end of it, he felt very bad because, he was seen as a very knowledgeable person. So he was very sad that the people have seen me in this state of anger. So now what happens is, what is the problem here? If he was sad that he got angry, then it is fine. He can work on it. But it is his ego speaking when he feels that others will know that he was considered a wise man and now his image will be damaged. What will people say? Log kya kahenge? That log kya kahenge is an incorrect approach to self-correction. So therefore, the lack of money doesn't give as much pain as the pain that others will find out about my lack. Lack of money will not give as much pain as much as the pain that the others will find out about my lack. मेरे पास नहीं है, ये लोगों को पता चल जाए. So what is the solution? The solution is to do what is within our powers and capacity and increase our capacity in that speciality. Increase our capacity in that speciality. Yeah. So we have all been given special powers and fields. If I excel at maths, then I should not try to solve all the sociological problems of the world. For a spiritually awakened person, the desire is what? The desire is all should be happy. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. So, because all are his extension. But he should leave that to the higher power. He should leave that to the higher power because that higher power is more capable and utilize the powers given to him by that highest power to do whatever good is possible. Right? Once we become Sadhya Deva, once we connect to those Sadhya Deva and realize that oneness with Ishvara, and then we start doing good, then our Aishwarya will automatically increase. Don't worry about your Samarthya, it will increase. Now, whatever, why do we want to do more? Why do we want to do more? We don't need to do more. Whatever needs to be done, God is doing. He doesn't need you to do it. Right? But if I'm willing to become sadhu, he needs helpers. He needs workers who are willing. Right? So therefore, when he comes to you, you have to be the instrument. Because the more we give and the more good we do, more Ishvara will increase our resources because he knows that it is going in the right hands, right? And with that, our capacity will increase, our ability to do good as well will increase, and also as not being sad at their sadness also increases, right? I will not be sad at the sadness of other people if I have the power to alleviate them. Right. So like if you have people working for you, you have staff or maybe servants in your home, whatever, right? So then you provide for them. You provide for them. So they have wants and they have lacks in their life. And so even if you support them at an odd time with a small amount of 50, 100, 200 rupees, then that money, because it was not available to them, it gave them sorrow. मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है दवाई लेने के. I don't have money to buy medicine. You give it to them, they are happy. Right? They are happy. So now this small amount is, or giving that small amount, it won't affect you. It won't affect you. तो आपको कोई problem नहीं देगा. But they are grateful. They are grateful because you gave it to them. It removed their sorrow. So because you have the capacity to give lakhs. So when you are able to give this small amount, it doesn't affect you. आपके जेब पे कोई ज्यादा चोट नहीं पड़ती है. It doesn't affect you. But in the opposite case, if you don't have the capacity, like you don't have any money to spare from your expenses, you already spent what you earn. So you have taken on a servant, but the servant doesn't mean just the salary. Sometimes they may have other needs. You should have the capacity to support them. So like he needs like 10,000 rupees for a marriage and he asks. So then you don't have the capacity to give, but yet you want to give so that your ego might not be hurt or your image might not be hurt rightly, right? So tab tumko dena padta. So therefore, this capacity that we have, when we find any lack in that capacity, it gives us sorrow. हम कर नहीं पा रहे हैं, है ना? So because of that. But what about Ishvara? Ishvara has infinite potential, right? He has infinite potential. So when we become one with him, he takes on our sorrows. He takes all our sorrows as his own, and he also alleviates them. उसमें शक्ति है. भगवान में he has the power. So he has the power. So he has the power to do this, remove our problem when we are surrendered to him. So he can take on our sorrow without himself being sad about it. उसके लिए तो छोटी सी बात है. For him giving us that little thing that you are asking for us it may be a big thing, but for him it is a little thing, the Lord of the universe, right? But what about us? We don't have the potential to remove sorrow as much as he has, right? So he never gets sad while we do get sad, as we don't have the potential to do good as much as him. So at the end of this, what is the net result of this? The net result is Ishvara does not take on any sorrow upon himself as he has infinite potential and we have finite potential. So we need not take up sorrow for that lack of potential. That should be our approach when we have this ekatvam in the universe, right? जो जितना हम कर सके करें, whatever we can do, And whatever we cannot do, we increase our samarthya. We ask Lord to increase our samarthya, our capacity, our potential, right? So whatever um, uh, requirement is from there, we should just be ever ready as willing instruments to do the bidding of the Lord, right? And we should not worry about Ishvara being in sorrow with the world also. Bhagwan bhi dukhi hota. You don't think about that. The he doesn't need to be worrying. He has taken on your sorrows, but he is not upset by them. That is the difference, right? So therefore, but what about ourselves? The more we take on the duties of the samashti of the universe, the more more the Lord will give us the power or the potential or the capacity or the strength, right? So those who don't take the support of such sadhya devas will have to live with the sorrow. तो जो भी साध्य देव को पकड़ के चलेगा उसको दुख नहीं मिलेगा, सुख मिलेगा. He will have joy. One who does not hold on to them, but one who holds to them will get joy. One who does not hold to them will get sorrow. Because we have this weird ability to take on sorrow. हमें ना बहुत शौक है इकट्ठा करने का. Whatever we get, we are also not. We don't have the gratitude for it, and also we take on sorrow. So like someone helps us for 10 times, right? And then for the 11th time we will refuse it. We will remember the 11th time only. We will forget the first 10 times, right? Or say for a husband, a wife is cooking food every day at home. Every day it's wonderful food. The food is very, very good every day. But one day it gets burnt or spoiled. He will remember that one day. He will not remember those other days. उस दिन खाना जला दिया था या नमक ज्यादा डाल दिया. So we are ungrateful. So same way when we pray to devtas also, no, they also give us 10 times. But whenever we don't get the 11th time, then we get angry. Or someone points it out. तुम्हें तो मिला था पहले भी. You got earlier also. Why don't you remember that? And then we get angry at that person. What if I got? Everyone gets. सभी को मिलता है. मेरे साथ क्या मुझे क्या खास दे दिया. So we can't have gratitude. So we refuse to acknowledge Deva Anugraha. So some even become Nastic. Because of that. मेरे लिए नहीं किया भगवान ने. मैं नहीं मानता. जाओ. I will not pray to you anymore. Amitabh Bachchan was there in some movie. I don't remember the name. So anyway. So there is a small story. There was Mahatma he was in a very popular matha, Dakshinamurti matha. So he was very well known. So he was asked by some rich person, a sage from Kolkata, to do an anushtanam for him for getting a son. So he said that I want you to offer 1008 laddus to Ganesha, and I want you to offer with your own hand because I know that you are a holy person. And I'm sure that when you do it, my desire will get fulfilled. So he was full of bhakti at that time. Mahatma was also very, very happy and he started preparing. And he spent about almost 5,000 rupees on the preparations itself. Everything was done. And the person went, after completing the anushthan, he went back to his hometown. And after an year, the son was born. A son was born to his son. He had asked for his son's son. So, अपने उसको पोता हुआ. He had a grandson. So now after that year, 1 year has gone, another year went by, yet he did not come there to ask to pay the money. Now the Mahatma also, they are shy by nature. He also didn't write a letter to him asking for that money. So he didn't ask for it. He preferred to wait. He said, okay, he has not been, he must have been busy. Whenever he'll come. So ultimately, then again an opportunity arose that Seth came to him. So he was telling him about a person who is in the karma kanda, though that you do some havan and then you'll get that fruit. So he had taught him that everything that you get is a result of your own karma also. Like Anita was saying, karma say. So that when whatever karma we do, we get karma from. That is what he had said. But there is something called anugrah also. Deva anugrah. So both are different things. So this Karmakandi had taught him that everything comes by karma phalam. So this Seth also said, look Maharaji, I have learned that whatever comes has come from karma phalam only. But since you did the anushtanam for him, I will pay you 500 rupees for your expenses. and maybe that should be sufficient to cover whatever you did. So Mahatma was very, very angry. He was very, very angry that this is. So he said, look, you think that you got this thing by karma. So you don't give me 1 rupee also. एक रुपया भी नहीं चाहिए मुझे. I don't even want 1 rupee of your money. Right? So this is not about money. It's not about money. For me, if someone comes, if it's needed for the ashram, Lord will give me lakhs of rupees. I don't need your money. But since you had promised, you are supposed to pay this money to me. So now you go, and he said, Ganesh ji ki kripa. जो गणेश जी का है वो गणेश के पास चला जाएगा. Whatever has, if this child has come to you by the Lord's blessing, then maybe the Lord will also, he will go back to the Lord also one day. So what happened was when he went back and everything was fine for a few days, then about 4 months later, the child passed away. The child passed away. He didn't survive. So he realized he was very, very disturbed. Ye kya ho gaya? And they went back to the Mahatma. So Mahatma was very angry still, angry in the sense that he could not accept the apology of this person because his bhava is not right. His bhava is not right. So he said, you cannot test a devta like this, and that too a devta like Ganesha. He is the Lord of all beginnings. How can you test? How can you expect that he did not give it to you? So therefore he said, your karma will give you fruit. Go back, depend your karma. You are not fit for Deva Anugraha. You are not fit for Deva Anugraha. So go back. So he sent him back. Even after 25 years, it is said that they didn't have any child. They had only an adopted son. Right? So if Devta gives something, man uses his own buddhi, intellect to deny it. कि मुझे वहां से नहीं मिला, अपने आप मिल गया कर्म फल से, and refuses to be grateful. This is actually the sign of Nastik. Even sign of Nastik. Even after getting many times, he will hold on to the one time he didn't get it all. So all this is from the Devtas to satisfy our desires. All that we get, some of it is because of our karma phalam, some of it is due to their anugraha when we surrender to them. Right? So once we have this right bhava of being thankful for what we have, being connected to the highest Lord, seeing my samarthya as limited to the field that I'm best in, contribute to that field in the best manner possible and increase my potential in that field, and keep giving so that Lord keeps increasing my samarthya and so that I am able to do as much more as possible, but not be sad if I'm not able to do something, if I'm not able to help someone. That should be my whole attitude. Even though I am Brahman, but that Brahman is at the level of the Atma. At the level of the Sharir, I should not be upset if I have not been able to do whatever is the maximum possible. But I should be willing to take the maximum responsibility. I cannot run away from myself. That is the basic approach that is advised by our Shastras. Right? So we'll wind up for today. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Tansa.